Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Dives, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Welcome to TPL Gaming. This is our debut episode. Before we get started, please go follow TPL Gaming on Twitter. It is at GamerTPL. Follow my man Shane at Half and Half TPL. We're going to be live streaming games now every week and led by my man Shane. In the comment section, guys, let us know what games you play. Let's have a conversation about what games you like to watch on YouTube, what games you like to play, what systems do you play on? Do you play on the computer? This is mostly just a hangout. Right now, we are playing NCAA 14 Road to Glory. Shane, take it over, my man.
What's up, everybody? So we put out a poll on Twitter, and we're going to be playing as an option quarterback. The winning name was Antonio Jackson. So meet Antonio Jackson. He's going to be our option quarterback. I'm in Oklahoma, but we'll go ahead and make him be from Pennsylvania. What's a good high school? What's a good high school around Philly I should use? I don't even know.
Archbishop.
Ooh, that's not on here.
All right. Keep going. I'll tell you.
Okay.
I mean, Downingtown. That's where I used to live. Chester. Coatesville is really good. Yeah, I'll do Coatesville.
Coatesville?
Yep.
What's their mascot? Any idea?
No, I can look up in a second.
Maybe I should have done some research. But so yeah, we're gonna do some Road to Glory streams. We'll pop in some. I'm a big Madden player. We'll do some Madden, some Age of Empires. You name it, we can probably set it up and go live. We can chat sports, whatever you guys want to do over the backdrop of playing games. So let us know in the comments what you want to hear about. I'm sure we'll talk Wentz and the Eagles today. But yeah.
They are the Warriors.
The Warriors. School I taught at last year was the Warriors.
Nice. Feeling better about Hunt's trade today. Definitely feeling better. Yesterday it was just kind of it was just mind-numbing how just inept the Eagles have been over these last couple years. But my response today is I'm just glad it's over and I can just like put it all away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been a road. I'm tired of all of the, all the rumors coming out, which, I mean, we're still getting the reports, and that's super annoying, but I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to be the team we're going to be and just see where the chips fall. Let's see. So we probably want to put Penn State and Temple as two of our choices. What should our third college choice be?
Let's go Penn. Or maybe Villanova or something. When I think of option quarterback in Philadelphia, I think of P.J. Walker. Remember that guy?
I don't. But I'm more of a Big 12 guy, so.
That's right. P.J. Walker.
Did you say Vanderbilt?
No, let's do University of Penn. Are they on there?
Let me go over and see.
You went past it.
I did go past it.
You're probably not. Nope. Pittsburgh works. Let's do Pittsburgh.
All right, let's do it. I had to resist the urge to just make my guy go to Oklahoma, but okay, so our spark rating to start out is an 80, and I think that's pretty much what you're going to get. And it builds each. I haven't played NCAA in like 5 years, so this is outside of just troubleshooting to make sure the stream was going to work. This is literally the first time I've played NCAA in a good 5 years, so this might be awful. I don't remember. So the last time I played, it was all you just did like the playoffs, and I think now you play like your whole senior year. So the games go pretty quick, but we'll have to see how quick we can get to actual college.
Cool. Cam says, huge Penn State fan, but University of Penn sounds like a lot of fun. Easily a starter right away. You're right.
All right. So first play of the year, we're an option quarterback, but first play of the year, we're going to come out and throw. So I don't know, is Doug Peterson our coach? Like, we get a completion. That's better. The last time I tested this, my first pass, I threw a pick 6. So we're off to a better start.
Justin says you should make Carson Wentz look alike and draft him to the Eagles, and then show the Eagles how it should have been done.
I almost made my quarterback number 11, but I didn't do it.
Rest in peace, number 11. You'll never see that number the same ever again.
No. Who wears number 11 for the Colts right now? It's one of the receivers. I can't remember who it was, though. I saw a tweet about it. Here we go. This is what it's all about, the triple option. Oh, and we fumbled. Maybe that's why Coach made us throw the ball.
Fumble Rooski.
Okay.
Did you see the report by Schefter today saying that Doug and Wentz did not talk for 9-10 weeks?
I did. You know, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's always been portrayed that Doug was a player's coach and players just love him and all this, right?
You're right.
So why is it, like, if you're a player and you won't even talk to your head coach for 10 weeks, I feel like that probably says a lot about you.
Exactly. Zach says Michael Pittman wears number 11 for the Colts.
Okay, that's right. Which he was a rookie this year, or was he second year? He's a newer guy in the league. Think Wentz makes him give up the number?
I don't care anymore. I'm out. I'm not that like super fan that like follows players where they go. Like I'm an Eagles guy, and once Carson's gone, I wish him nothing but the best. Now I probably will be watching some Colts games next year, but I'm not going to be following that team, not at all.
I mean, I'm going to be hoping they lose a lot.
Yeah, that's about it.
I hope they lose a whole lot, but he plays 75% of the snaps, and we get like the first pick in the first round.
All right, Antonio Jackson's dominating right now.
He's going to be a beast. We just can't fumble the ball. Our coach has a very limited high school playbook. This is like the third time we've run this play, and it's the first quarter.
Justin says Michael Pittman was a second-round pick last year.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking he was a rookie last year, but I couldn't remember. So you just put up your scouting report about Kyle Pitts yesterday, and you texted me about it, and I totally forgot about it until last night because of all the Wentz news. But tell me a little bit about Kyle Pitts. You think he's worthy of pick 6? What do you think about him?
He's not at all my first choice. Like that's like make sure that's like clear. But he's a no-brainer pick for the Eagles. He's a no-brainer pick. He's not your typical tight end. And when you take a tight end that high, he's got to be like literally a top 3, top 4 player, right, at his position.
Right.
But the thing to know about Kyle Pitts is he's not just a tight end. Like he played the X.
No!
Wait, what happened? Interception?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Working out those first game jitters.
Matt McGinney says we need a TPL Call of Duty tournament. That'd be so fun.
I mean, nice thing with Call of Duty is it's cross-platform. So
really,
yeah, we can get PC, Xbox, and PlayStation guys all in it together.
That's cool, and not Switch. I hate my life. But Kyle Pitts is really good, man. He's right up there with a guy with one of my favorite scenarios of the Eagles like slightly trading back in between that like 8 to 12 range. And if he's there, I'm in. I am all in. He's not my first choice. But the point about Kyle Pitts is he doesn't play primarily the tight end spot. He plays the slot. He plays the X. He dominates the middle of the field, something the Eagles haven't really done in quite some time. He's the guy that dominates the catch point. He's one of those 50-50 guys that is going to thrive in the red zone, something the Eagles struggle with again. So he's a playmaker, and that's what they need, and he's definitely a star. It's not a position of need at all. As I love Dallas Goedert, so it's a premium position. It's a really hard choice. It's one of those choices where I'm just glad I'm not the one making that call. But obviously, it depends on how the board falls. Right now, I do hope one of those quarterbacks falls to number 6 that we can trade out. And that is still my favorite scenario. And trade back to one of those cornerbacks. But still, he's really good, man. He's really talented.
That's one of my biggest things with taking him is you could tell me that like the Eagles draft any position. I mean, other than like, special teams, kicker, punter, long snapper, you could tell me they drafted any position except tight end in the first round. And I'd think, yeah, we have a need there. But with already having Goddard on the roster, it's just like, man, I don't know, but if you can get him out at the X, you can flex him out, which I know people are projecting him to do. He didn't do a lot in college, but if you can get him out there, you can drop back some to do it. I mean, a playmaker's a playmaker, and the Eagles definitely have need of those.
According to Pro Football Focus, his wide receiver rating, like lined up as a wide receiver, was like among the best in college football last year. So it's not just he's like lined up under like a tight end. Like, he is by far one of the best wide receivers in this draft as well. That's something that he's just a unique player. Matt McGinney says hit every genre of the game. I just want to play Mario Kart.
Hey, we can make that happen, but I don't have a Switch. I've still got like the Wii U.
Man, I'm a Switch guy. I love me some Mario Kart. That'd be so fun.
We need to get everybody subbed to the Twitch channel. We got to get Twitch partner, get everybody subbed, and then we can get Switches. Yeah. We can start streaming Mario Kart tournaments.
That would be insane. That'd be so much fun.
So here's something I thought about earlier today that I thought was kind of funny. So we've got the Eagles basically trying to become the Colts, right? Presumably, the Eagles trying to become the Colts to keep Carson Wentz. Instead, the Eagles trade him to the Colts after we stole all of their coaches. And you know who he's going to be working with in Indy, right? Besides Frank Reich?
Press Taylor, right?
And Mike Groh.
Yeah, Mike Groh.
It's like the Eagles are trying to become the Colts, and at the same time, the Colts are trying to become the Eagles, and I think it's hilarious.
It makes no sense.
But, you wonder about, like, Frank Reich, the last time Wentz was really good, Reich was his offensive coordinator. And we know that Reich kind of played the good cop to John DeFilippo's bad cop. After that happened, like, Wentz doesn't like the tough coaching, and so we went all good cop, buddy-buddy with Groh and Taylor, and it didn't work. And so now he's going to be back in Indy where everybody around him is that good cop type person again. And I really don't know how that's going to go for them.
It's just
like, I fully expect him to start well. Like, he's going to be behind more stability at the offensive line, some more playmakers. But the question, like, everybody has that bad game. And so when you have the bad game and then you got to go into the quarterback meeting on Monday and Frank Reich says, hey, we want you to change this, how's Wentz going to respond to that? That's the biggest question for me on next year. That's going to be kind of fascinating to see how that goes with the Colts.
Yeah. It's one of those situations where I'm glad it's over. I'm glad the Eagles are prepared to suck next year. Next year was always going to be bad, but they're going to try and be really bad next year. And it's kind of like a win-win with Jalen Hurts anyway, right? Like, if he plays well next year, it's a really good thing for the Eagles. If he doesn't play well, you get your quarterback next year in the draft. So I think that's the most likely scenario that the Eagles are looking to.
Are you totally out on taking a quarterback at 6?
No. Dude, here's my thing with this draft. And this is how I view this year's draft for the Eagles. Get the best player. If you can find the best player that is a sure thing, that is what I want. Like, I don't care who they pick. The Eagles are in no position to be picky or choosy of who they're going to select at number 6. If the best player falls and that is the quarterback, so be it. If that's Kyle Pitts, so be it. I just want the Eagles to get someone that is a sure thing, top 5 at his position potential down the road. You look at the Eagles roster right now, just depleted of youth, depleted of talent. I'm not ready for this team to be like winning the division in 2-3 years. This is going to be, I think, a process. A lot of people probably don't want to hear that word, but I do think it's going to take some time. And that's kind of the nuts and bolts, or what kind of Howie is. That's the part that Howie should be called out on, but he's not. And there's an accountability issue in Philly, and it goes all the way to the top to Jeffrey Lurie. It's just the problem is Howie's making the calls still.
Right. So here, the thing for me, so I've written about I didn't write about Trevor Lawrence. He's going number 1, so there's really no point. But I've written about the other guys. I wrote about Lance, and I wrote about Fields. I wrote about Wilson. And the thing is, like, I'm almost positive that the Eagles would have all 4 of those guys graded higher than they had Jalen Hurts last year. Like, Jalen Hurts would be the QB5 in this draft. And, I think all of them are worth the 6th overall pick. Lance is a little more of a project. He's got all the talent, but he only played that 1 year at, FCS. So the question becomes, like, how confident are you in Jalen Hurts? Because you've got 4 guys sitting there, and it's almost a certainty that at least Lance is going to be there at 6. I mean, I don't know. You could make an argument to go either way, and I'm sure we're going to have that debate a lot. Like, the Eagles are such a mess right now. Like, do you want to put a rookie quarterback in a situation where, his offensive line, like, who's going to be the left tackle? We don't. Mailata or Dillard, both of them have a chance to not be good. You got to wait and see. Is Jason Kelsey going to retire? Is he going to get cut? I don't know. If that happens, do you put Sayamalo at center? Brandon Brooks is coming off of his 2nd Achilles tear in 2 years. Like, what's he going to be able to do? I don't know. Lane Johnson can't stay healthy. So are you going to put a rookie behind an offensive line like that and ruin him? Do you put Jalen Hurts out there? I don't know. It could go either way.
I prefer to run with Jalen Hurts. Like, if Jalen Hurts, like, he's not a quarterback that's going to be good enough to prevent you from drafting a quarterback in the 1st round. Like, I don't think he's like the franchise quarterback moving forward. I don't. But in the chance that he is, like, I think he deserves a chance. I think he deserves that tryout in 2021.
Yeah.
I would much rather build around. What if the Eagles shocked everyone and went with like a veteran next year, and just they're going to tank essentially. They're going to try and tank, and I think that's what Jalen Hurts does for you. That's what I'm trying to say. If that makes any sense, like, Jalen Hurts isn't good enough to win you a game in the 4th quarter, but he's good enough to see what you've got. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, that makes sense. You give him the year and see the thing. The only thing there is, like, you're potentially sitting next. Right now you're at 6 in a 4 quarterback class. Next year, maybe you're at 10 or 11, and I don't know. And maybe he can make it work. He's the type of guy that
Jalen Hurts.
Win the MVP.
Come on.
Here's a trivia question. I don't know the answer to it. When's the last time an MVP came from a non-playoff team? Has it ever happened?
I'm not sure.
It says someone pay me when it happens. So here's the other one I don't understand. If presumably the Eagles fired Doug Peterson to keep Carson Wentz, a month later they traded Carson Wentz. Like, how do you not sit down with Wentz and figure out, is this going to appease you? Like, if we bring in different coaching, because essentially what you did is you offloaded a quarterback you sunk significant capital in, both in the draft and the salary cap, and you fired your Super Bowl head coach during a season that was affected by a pandemic because of a bad year. Now, I'm not saying that it was the wrong move on either one, but that's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, you spend 5 draft picks to get this guy in 2016. You signed him to $128 million just 20 months ago. It just shows you how much his value has dropped and plummeted in Philadelphia. He clearly wanted nothing to do with the Eagles. And I don't blame him at all. I do not blame Carson Wentz at all. I guess I asked this to Jamie Lynch. I was like, what is Eagles fans' memory going to be of Carson Wentz now? And it's probably pretty bad. I know he got you to a Super Bowl, but I do think that people are going to sour on him pretty quickly.
Yeah.
We've got XPL joining. Says hi. What's going on? Thanks for joining.
I want to know how many viewers out there are bored at work right now, just wait until the weekend to start, and so they decided to spend some time with us.
Yeah, we're going to the Baltimore Aquarium tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's my daughter's first time there, so it's really her first time seeing like live animals. You know what I mean? Like her first like real introduction to that. I'm so psyched.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, Justin asked if you're subbed. Yeah, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, if you'd do us a huge favor and jump over to twitch.tv/thepaintedlines. We're on the same stream there, trying to get some viewers on it. And if you've got a Twitch account, if you could give us a follow, that'd be great. You can get notifications when we go live. Eventually, we'll probably move to the gaming just on Twitch because it's a little bit easier to set up. But yeah, if you're out there watching and can get on Twitch, we would greatly appreciate it.
Got my WandaVision pod tonight at 7. That's going to be really fun. That'll also be on Twitch. Holding a spoiler-heavy review of episode 7. Man, it was really good. Really good.
I need to watch. I haven't watched any of them. I kind of burnt out on Marvel stuff, but I'm starting to get that itch again.
Man, I love it. I can't get enough of it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite part of the week is waking up at 4:30 in the mornings on Friday and writing a review on the episode.
I've been watching The Man in the High Castle on Amazon Prime. I've got 1 episode left in season 3.
Oh, so good.
It's been real interesting for a history nerd like me.
It's a slow burn.
It's interesting for my wife, but I think she likes it, or she is just pacifying me. One of the two.
It's a slow burn. We just started Fringe. Have you ever heard of Fringe?
Did you? It sounded like you said Friends, and I've definitely heard of Friends, but I don't think that's what you said.
Fringe, like
Fringe.
It's like a X-Files type of show.
Okay. I've heard the name. I've never watched it.
It's Pacey Witter's in it from Dawson's Creek. Okay. But it's like they're investigating supernatural things, and it's so good.
I tend to like get on shows way late and then binge like seasons at a time. Like
That's how I'm too.
I watched Breaking Bad years ago, but I never watched Better Call Saul, and then I binged all 5 seasons like during the pandemic. That's kind of what I end up doing.
I'm the same way.
I hate waiting week to week on shows. Oh no, fumble. Go get your own fumble, Jackson. Where is it? Can't even see it. That's some shoddy camera work, EA. That's on you.
2 turnovers.
2 fumbles and a pick.
Oh, 3 turnovers.
See, this is what look at my coach here. We're an option quarterback, and we've thrown 30 passes, and we've called 14 run plays.
We're pretty sure that's Doug, right?
Yeah, I think it is. Although, I mean, in 14 run plays, we fumbled twice, so maybe we should keep throwing the ball. I think after this one's over, I'm going to save it and reboot this emulator. The audio is stuttering real bad. I'm just going to take it off. I think it'll run a little smoother, too.
Okay.
Since we're chatting anyways.
Leo says the game's a little laggy.
Okay.
Hey, it's our debut episode of TPL Gaming. What do you expect?
Working out stuff. Leo is where the name came from. Antonio Jackson. That's where it came from. He's a Steelers fan.
What? I'm sure the Steelers are going to be going into they're in a transition mode like the Eagles, right?
I don't know. You think Big Ben, if he comes back, when I wrote about Trey Lance, I wrote about them as an ideal landing spot for him. He's kind of a bigger, a little more athletic Ben Roethlisberger. And, he could sit for that year, get a little more experience. So it'd be an interesting spot, but they probably got to trade up to get him. I doubt Lance makes it past like 12. Oh, I didn't know Justin was a Steelers fan.
Yeah. No, Justin's saying for a Steelers fan, it's an interesting profile picture. Leo's profile picture is an eagle.
Yeah, so Leo's in my Madden league, and he's the Eagle. Well, he's not anymore. He used to be the Eagles in my Madden league like 2 years ago, and he never changed his picture. I think he's a closet Eagles fan.
Sounds like it.
We're taking this ourselves.
Got it.
He's the Colts this year. I'm the Jaguars. That's why my profile picture in our Discord is a Jaguars logo, which I'm sure throws everybody off.
Do you want me to mute the audio on here?
You can, yeah. I'm gonna save it here and reload the emulator, and I might get a little smoother frame rate without the audio too.
Sounds good. Yeah, Leo
it was working fine when I practiced when I tried it out earlier.
Yeah.
I think maybe the broadcast is taxing it a little bit too. So we go 25 of 32 for 270 yards and 2 touchdowns with 87 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns in our first game. And I appreciate them not showing the turnovers on that summary screen. It makes me feel better.
All right, so I never played this game. I haven't played a Madden game or a football game in a long time. I like to stick to RPGs. So that's my bread and butter. Like games like The Witcher, games like the one I'm playing now, Immortals, is really good. I've been really enjoying it. So I'm an RPG guy. I used to play Madden and stuff like that, but I just kind of like lost interest because it kind of just got so repetitive.
Yeah. See, I downloaded The Witcher, but I played it for like 10 minutes, and then I just kind of never came back to it, and I honestly don't know why.
It's the best game of all time.
Okay, let's reload it here without the audio.
The Witcher 3 is the best game I've ever played in my life. I think I probably put like 500 hours into that.
Yeah. I got Assassin's Creed Odyssey for Christmas because I'm big into like Greco-Roman history, and I've played it and I really like it, but it just ends up falling by the wayside between Madden and Call of Duty. That's pretty much just what I end up playing.
Now, what's your opinion on Madden? Because it got really bad reviews, right?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of review bombed it. It has a lot of issues for sure, and a lot of them are frustrating. I mean, I enjoy the game, but it's definitely not what it could be and what I wish it was.
Okay.
I'm really excited for NCAA to come back because
Yeah.
I never played Madden when NCAA was out. That was always my game. So I don't know if I'll continue to play Madden much once NCAA comes back out.
I loved the NCAA football games and college basketball games back when I was in college and stuff like that. I used to like sit and manually put the names on the players.
Oh yeah.
That took days to complete. Like that was that was before they could do it like online and stuff.
I would do I would just like every time I logged into play, I would do like punch in one team before I started. Like put in one team's name. All right, so we're back now. Let's see. My frame rate's almost doubled, so this should be a lot better.
It looks smoother on my end.
Yeah. It's got up in the very top left-hand corner. I don't know if you can see it. It lists the frame rate up here. So I'm sitting about 35 right now. It was dropping down into the 20s.
Gotcha.
Before, but
we are seeing some friends at 4, so I have to leave probably in like 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I want to do some Call of Duty streams and some other stuff. Kind of see what the people want, but the people were nostalgic about Road to Glory mode when we put up that first poll. So
why is that? What is this game super famous or like why NCAA 14?
This is the last NCAA game they made before it got shut down.
Gotcha. Okay.
I forget what the lawsuit was. I forget the guy's name, but it was like I think it was a college basketball player filed a lawsuit about player likeness, and EA kind of preemptively shut down NCAA football before they got sued. Yeah, Ed O'Bannon. And so they haven't made one since, and supposedly they said they're going to make another one, and I honestly don't know how they're going to do it because they still can't pay players, but I don't know. They're still trying to work that out, but supposedly, I mean, they came out an official verified Twitter account and said that they're going to make another one, and everybody got super excited, and then they tweeted like, hey, thanks for all the support, but yeah, it's going to be like 3 years. So pretty bad PR in my opinion, but
3
so
years.
There is another one coming. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Our coach loves this play and nobody is ever open out of it. Like, Justin says they're free to use my name and then call the team I'm on the painted lines. Fun story. So the names of the players, the offensive players on Road to Glory mode, those are actually people who worked on the game. They're devs for the NCAA. I have no idea why my running back didn't catch that. We just pitched the ball 20 yards backwards for a safety. 27 yards. Anyways, the names that they use in this game, they're actually devs that worked on the game. So your high school teammates are devs from EA.
Oh, that's cool. Have you seen? Do you have Disney Plus?
I do. Yeah.
Did you see the movie Safety?
I didn't. I've heard it's really good. Have you watched it?
Yeah, it's really good. But it's interesting because I'm like watching this, and if you watch Safety, it's about a college football prospect playing for, I think, Clemson, I think it is. And they paint the NCAA in a really bad way. And then there's an ending to it. So is there anything more fraudulent than the NCAA?
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to portray the NCAA in a negative light.
Yeah. So I don't want to ruin the movie, but I would watch it. I would love to hear your thoughts on how the movie portrays the NCAA from your end.
Okay.
Justin says the new WandaVision episode was great. I wrote a review this morning. It's out there at thepaintlines.com, and we'll be doing a live spoiler review at 7 o'clock in 4 hours from now. I'm excited. I'm excited. That was a great. There's some reveals in that episode that are pretty major, pretty major, and it's gonna get really fun.
Let's get a 50-50 ball here. Oh, well.
Is that JJ?
Looks like JJ just keeps running. Here we go. 1:55 in the first quarter, and we're calling our first option play.
Pretty sure Elizabethtown's not in Coatesville's division, but that's okay.
As an option quarterback, I hate the fact it gives all of those rushing yards to the running back. I should get the ones before I pitch the ball. That's all I'm saying.
I was trying to think of like that report from Schefter that the Eagles coach Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz didn't talk to each other for 8 to 10 weeks. Like, how does that even happen? That's where I'm going with that. Is like, how does that relate to like other sports? Like, is that like would that be like Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons refusing to pass each other the ball? Like what is like? This is an NFL quarterback, the most important position in sports, not talking to the head coach who also calls the plays.
Yeah, who also happens to call the plays is what I was about to say. Oh, no, they're another pick. Like
that is a train wreck.
If you call the plays and your quarterback won't talk to you, like, how does he make it that far into the season before he gets benched?
It's so dysfunctional. It's absolutely crazy how dysfunctional that team was. I don't understand the logistics of how Doug even called the plays. You know what I mean? Like, it is just top to bottom a train wreck. It's just a shame. It's just how about that play?
We're making a comeback after that pick. We got to throw a pick before we get going.
All right, Antonio Jackson, throw on the run. I see you, Antonio Jackson. So how do we know which college he goes to?
So once we get to once he gets to the end of his career.
Oh, that was almost an interception.
Tight window. we're throwing dots. Like, he'll get a higher recruit rating based on his performance as we go. And then when we get to the end, he'll get offers from like a bunch of different schools, and it'll be like, you can go to Penn State and be the third string quarterback, or you can go to Toledo and be the starter. And so you pick where to go, and then you have to like earn your way up in practice mode to become the starter.
You ever see the TV show All American?
I haven't, no.
It's kind of like this, where like it's about a wide receiver, I believe. Wide receiver. He lives in like the ghetto, but he gets a full scholarship to play for a top-notch high school football team, and it's about him. Like, it's kind of like a soap opera. Justin says I really like All American. It's actually kind of well done, but it's a little soapy. So if you can tolerate like the cringy stuff, it's okay.
The football play in the movie was awful. I mean, the football play in everything is awful. Like, I mean, Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans is one of my favorite movies of all time. But like, you get a guy like clotheslining someone running down the field. Like, that's not very realistic. Sorry.
It's like, ooh, we got ourselves a football player, and the guy's like head is off.
I mean, if you think about it, like, the best sports movies, none of them are actually about sports.
Yeah.
Like, Remember the Titans it's a sports movie, but it's not about sports. It's about dealing with racism in a town. Like, and all these movies, like the best ones, they're not actually about sports.
Did you see The Way Back?
I haven't, no.
It's Ben Affleck. It's a basketball movie where he's coaching. Like you said, it's not about basketball. It's about his recovery from alcoholism and stuff. He lost his son. I think his son died for some reason. I think it was a medical issue. And he just like went full depression. He divorced his wife, got into like car accidents and all different types of stuff. But in the process, he's also coaching. It's a really beautiful film. I really recommend it. I enjoyed it. But like in terms of basketball, there's only like like total screen time of like 5 minutes of actual basketball. But it's really well done. The Way Back, really underrated.
Justin says, "Remember the Titans and Coach Carter are two of my favorites." Have you seen Coach Carter?
Yeah,
have you seen that one?
Yeah,
I love that one. Spoiler alert: if you have not seen it and you want to go see it, mute me for like 10 seconds. I'll wave when you can come back. But I loved like it kind of like in sports movies, they're so predictable because the team you're pulling for, the team you're following always wins. And so I loved in that movie that that's not what happened. Like I fully expected them to win that game. And when they didn't, I mean, I don't know. It adds that unpredictability back that's just gone from a lot of movies. So
Justin says the message behind them are amazing. My favorite is White Man Can't Jump. That is a movie. That's my favorite basketball movie. And I could watch that movie any day of the week. Like if that movie's on TV, I'm stopping everything what I'm doing and I'm watching that movie. That movie just gets me. It is so funny. I love the two leads and Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson, just terrific, top to bottom. Love me some White Man Can't Jump. Favorite football movie for me is probably Remember the Titans. It's just so memorable, so feel good. It makes me smile. I love. Who's the girl in that movie?
I'm terrible with actresses.
What, Justin? You've never seen White Man Can't Jump? Come on, man. You got to see that, bro. My wife says Friday Night Lights is really good. Really, really strong film.
The movie or the show?
I think both are really high up there, to be honest.
Which one do you like better? You can only watch one. Which one are you watching?
I watched the movie, but there's like a cult following for the show, big time. It's really popular.
I love the show.
Yeah.
I was like one of the most disappointed I've ever been related to shows. I watched Friday Night Lights and got super into it. And so like I finished the first season and I was like, I'm going to stop and I'm going to try to get my wife into it. And she just was not into it at all. And that was like devastating because I just thought it was like the best movie ever. Or best show ever.
Justin says Varsity Blues, so good, man. I love Varsity Blues, so underrated.
Although the halftime speech in the state championship game in the Friday Night Lights movie, like that speech gets me going. In college, I'd listen to that like before every intramural flag football game. Get all like hyped up. They're talking about like hitting people and everything, and then I go try to pull some dude's flags off or something. But
that's amazing.
That was the go-to.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good. Varsity Blues is also strong. Trying to think of another football movie. I'm actually drawing a blank.
Longest Yard.
Longest Yard's okay. Which one? The new one or the old one?
Both. I think more of the new one, but the old one. The old one was good too. I always liked the scene in the new one when the guy runs down on the opening kickoff and just like jumps and like kicks two of the guards, and they all just like waylay guards, and nobody even cares about getting the return man.
I mean, Rudy, of course. Rudy is a classic. Who doesn't love like you put that Rudy music on, and it's game over. It's all automatic waterworks. Invincible is really good. Actually, did you know I interviewed Vince Papale?
I did not. That's awesome.
Yeah, I had him on Party on Broad like I don't know, 9 months ago, and we were talking about the movie and talking about his life with the Eagles and what's similar or what's like kind of made up in the movie versus what's fake, all that kind of stuff. It was a really fun interview. Dude is awesome.
Justin says it's sad that I got hyped up for flag football games by watching that speech. I assume that's what he says is sad and not my quarterback play. Could go either way.
I know it's only 7-2 here in the first half. What's going on here?
Well, we keep doing that.
We're gonna need Jonathan.
We're gonna need to take a quarterback.
we need Moxon in this during halftime show. Like, let's be heroes and have a strong second half.
I think the next time we do this, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to get the 360 out. This is struggling.
Yeah,
pretty laggy.
Nicole says concussion. Draft day is really underrated.
Ooh. I used to always watch draft day on draft day. Back when I thought like Howie was a good GM, and I'd be like, that's Howie Roseman. He can pull the wool over anybody. And
that's so funny. Draft day is great.
If you ever want to like get a window into how front offices work, that's not it, but it's a very entertaining movie.
Yeah, it makes it fun. That scene where I forget the name of the actor, Kevin Costner and someone else, and they're going back and forth on the draft picks during the climactic moment. It's so good. Oh no! Oh, I thought that was a fumble.
I was trying to hit the running back over the middle. Coach, we're not moving the ball through the air. Let's call a run play.
So you can't call the plays?
No. I think later on, like, you can earn like coach trust.
Okay.
And then you can start to like audible out of plays and stuff.
Okay.
All I can do right now is I can flip the play if I want to the other side.
Got it.
Hey, we're starting to heat up though. We're yellow. We're getting there.
Very nice.
That's touchdown. I called that so early. I was so confident he was going to catch it. Like, when I watch Eagles games, you see that, and I'm like, I wonder if he's going to catch it or not. Oh, that's your. Did you freeze or did I freeze?
No, I just wasn't talking.
Oh, okay, it looked like it was frozen, and a little wireless symbol popped up on my StreamYard screen.
Yeah.
All right, so in the chat, what's your favorite sports movie that is not football, non-football sports movie?
We watched one yesterday, and it is to this day one of my favorite movies of all time. Cool Runnings. Cool Runnings, man, is like just there's something about Cool Runnings that just gets me. Cool Runnings is just always a classic. What's going on, Justin?
You just figured
What's up,
I'd hop on
Justin?
and say hi. I've been talking in the comments for a while, so I figured I'd just come on.
They were just watching this Antonio Jackson suck.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you, Shane. I think you need to step your game a little bit.
No,
I don't know how many interceptions you've thrown so far, but
we're about to go FCS is what we're about to do.
I think I haven't picked up Madden in about a year. I might be able to play some better quarterback.
Oh, this isn't Madden. It's not even the same thing.
All right. Same buttons, same routes.
I'm rocking the PlayStation controller and I play on Xbox, so I'm not.
So the console excuse is coming out. The console excuse, I got you.
In a different place, and I'm definitely going to throw some picks because of that at some point. But I can't put any so far on it.
I get that. I've been there. I had an Xbox 360 for, I don't know. I got it when I was in like elementary school, and then through middle school I had it, and then I got a PS4 my freshman year of high school, and it was the weirdest, like changing over from Xbox to PS4 was like the hardest thing at first. I was like, I'm like struggling because all I did growing up was play sports games.
It's like just don't have an X button. Everything else would be fine. Mm-hmm. But X on X or X on the PlayStation and A on the Xbox is the same place, and that'll definitely cause me problems sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, I have homework for you, buddy. I have homework.
Ask me. Well, get homework.
Yeah. Get a Super Nintendo
Mm-hmm.
and play Ken Griffey Jr. baseball, NHL 94, NBA Jam, all those games back in the day, man. That's what I grew up on. Those were the best sports games of all time, man. Especially NHL 94, Tecmo Bowl. You ever hear of Tecmo Bowl?
I think I've heard of it, yeah.
Tecmo Bowl is awesome. I could play Tecmo Bowl on stream. I've got one of the little bitty ones that they put a bunch of the games on that outputs to your TV on HDMI.
Cool.
I could totally hook it up and play Tecmo Bowl on a stream.
That's great.
Is there any way we could play each other and live stream at the same time?
There is, but it's just a little bit. So part of the issue would be is figuring out how to get two different screens on there. Like if you were in person, it'd be a little bit easier, obviously, because you could just use one singular stream. Part of the other issue is the internet speed. Everyone's gonna have different internet speeds. So if you were capable of having two screens on there, it could look a little odd. I don't know if you can do that with StreamYard.
Okay. You would be able to see each other's plays.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like the only way to do it is if you did it on like that I can think of, which based on our setup now, is if you were to do it in the same room, and that's like you said, you could see everyone's plays.
Yeah.
If we could do, I mean, you could do something like Madden, a game where you're both seeing the same screen.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, I'm blaming my receiver here. Did not get off press. Come on. Like if you're playing something like Madden where you see the same screen, you could broadcast it, and I mean people would see the field. But if you got into games where you're seeing different things, it wouldn't work very good.
Gotcha.
I need to go back home and grab some of my like old Madden games. I haven't bought a Madden game in years. I think like the last Madden game I have is like 17.
Yeah.
But now, like, I literally have – I think I have Madden 17 here somewhere. And then I have the Call of Duties, like, not even the newest ones, but I got those. I got Rainbow Six Siege. You know, I gotta have Grand Theft Auto in there. Why not? And then I typically play 2K.
Yeah.
Which I don't like 2K, but it's the only basketball game outlet I have. So
yeah,
I was always terrible at 2K.
Yeah, I'm
Me and my buddies are pretty good at it.
I used to play that all the time.
Really?
All the time. NBA 2K, yeah. I remember when it like first came out. Like I remember when all you had was NBA Live and 2K came out and it was like amazing. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of a slow process for it to really get going because NBA Live was so popular.
Mm-hmm.
But remember all that, man. I remember NFL 2K? Do you guys remember NFL 2K?
I remember MLB 2K.
Yep.
That's what I honestly, that was my game growing up. Like 2K, cool. 2K, what was it? MLB 2000, like 2K07? Did they call it 7 or 07? I can't even remember. I don't remember how they phrased it, but I know like I like the MLB 2K games before I got the PS4 and started getting the show. That's when that's what I was playing all the time was baseball. And I remember because I just remember specific players were like so overpowered. Like you could, if you had like Nelson Cruz out there, like his home run, like his power was like 105 or something like that. And you could just, anytime the ball was anywhere in the strike zone, it was going. Same with David Ortiz. It was just like, there were certain people in the game that were just insane. Like Albert Pujols was the same way. It was annoying.
Did you ever play MLB The Bigs? It was like arcade style.
I played a game when I had a Game Boy. I played the backyard, like backyard baseball or something like that. That was like arcade style. But other than that, I don't think there was a other game that like was a full size game that I had like that.
It was
I grew up on GameCube though, so I don't know.
Did you ever play like MLB Slugfest back on like the N64 type stuff?
I never had the N64.
Okay, the Bigs was like the PS3 version, so I mean it was better graphics and more realistic. Oh, just got popped. I mean it looked more realistic, less cartoony, but I mean it was still like power ups and throwing guys out at first base from center field and stuff like that. But it was fun.
Yeah, I grew up on for my first game system was the PS2 because my dad had it. And so we would play like random games on that, but they were mostly like racing games and stuff like that. And then we got the GameCube, and that's where I was playing Madden 07 and like MLB 2K and stuff like that. And also, I think I also played Super Smash Bros. Was like one of my favorite games growing up.
Yeah.
So I played that a lot. And then we got the Wii. No, was it X? I think then it was the Wii, and then it was Xbox 360, like the first Xbox 360, and then it was the PS4. So that's my
Super Smash character.
Oof, see, that's tough. It depends who I was playing. I promise you, I was serious about that. I really like Captain Falcon. I don't know. I there were so many players that I like to use, but that was like one of the main ones I like to use because I thought he was cool.
I was a Kirby user.
Oh, of course you were. Of course you were a Kirby user. You were that guy who would run around, just suck people and shit them out, and then just start using their own powers against them. You were that guy.
I have a confession.
You never played it.
I was never into Super Smash Brothers.
Oh man, boo.
That's disappointing.
I know, and I'm a Nintendo guy as well. I'm a big fraud.
I still have my N64.
You can't even say you like Mario Kart now because you just said that.
What?
You can't say like you like Mario Kart now that you said you don't like Super Smash Bros.
They're not related.
I think they are though because there's a lot of the same characters.
I mean, only because Super Smash just stole everybody else's characters.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. I always thought that was funny. Like they had like Pokemon in there. They had Mario. Like just a bunch. It was just a compilation of random players. Like Link. Like, it was just weird. They had so many different people. I remember Mewtwo was in there. I was like, who? And when I was younger, like I knew like Pokemon, but I was like, who the hell is Mewtwo? Like I didn't even know who it was at first.
My son just got into Pokemon stuff, and like that was never my thing. So he's got some cards now that he got, and I'm just like, I don't know what you even do with these. So
yeah, I had like I'm actually a little annoyed about this because I had like a actual like decent sized collection of Pokemon cards growing up, and then I gave them to my sister when I was like in like high school because she's like, you don't use them, just let me have them. I was like, all right, whatever. Gave them to her, and I think they ended up in a yard sale. And now I like really regret that because I don't know what cards were in there, but I'm sure there was something worth some sort of money. Like, because I had like a legit like big booklet of it.
Yeah.
But I will say I have a really, really, really big baseball card collection. If baseball ever becomes relevant again, relevant. I mean, what's up?
I was into collecting basketball cards.
Basketball, I would see every time I go to Walmart to look for, and mind you, it's Walmart. I'm not going to like a legitimate card store. I go to Walmart, and anytime I go there, I go and I check the card section, just in case there's basketball cards. And there's never.
Wow.
Like you can always find baseball, you can always find football, but basketball is never there. And I was
all into football cards, but I had some baseball cards and basketball cards, but it was all football cards for me.
Yeah, I had both football and baseball. Baseball, I always had more of. Like I had this. I guess my pop, my dad's dad, they used to like collect cards together. So that we have like complete compilations of each season of every card, basically for like a bunch of different years in a row. Not as many recently because we kind of like grew out of it, but like the amount of booklets of cards we have is kind of ridiculous. Like I think we have like a rookie, like Frank Thomas, and like just like a bunch of different like interesting, like Ken Griffey Jr., like just a bunch of different like cool like ones that are probably gonna be worth a lot of money someday. But I don't know. Few signed baseballs, all that kind of stuff. Crazy. You're muted, Crockpot.
Deshaun Jackson just put out some Instagram crap saying, looking forward to my next chapter. The best deep threat in the NFL coming to a city near you. Philadelphia to always love. Looks like Deshaun Jackson is out.
Well, isn't his contract up anyways?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look that up right now. I don't actually. I feel like he has a year left on his deal, so
That's what I feel like, but I could be wrong.
I think you're right.
it might be a team option. It might be a team option.
To be honest, I don't know how the Eagles are going to function without having Deshaun for 2 games next year.
Honestly, man. Dude, when we signed him, I was so excited. And then my dad actually called it. I said this before during the season on a live stream, but I was like, my dad was like, yeah, how much do you want to bet he plays like 2 games for us his whole like career, his whole 3-year contract? And I was like, I'm like, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. And my dad's like, I'm like, all right.
The problem of that is when they brought him in, like all you were spoon-fed was how great Carson and Djax looked during training camp. And then that first Redskins game, you get 2 touchdowns. Like it was so fun. And then
the bar was here.
Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, it's Deshaun Jackson. He can't stay healthy.
Not gonna lie, I'm a little confused because I'm reading the contract breakdown right now on Spotrac. And it says potential out 2021 2-year 17 million, 5 million in dead cap. I'm confused.
So they put potential out on there on like when a team could feasibly just like cut a guy, and like if we cut him here, this is what we would have paid him, and this is the dead cap we'll have after it's over.
Okay, well then maybe they're just gonna cut him then, because
that's what I would assume.
Yeah, because his dead cap, because I'm looking. So if he stayed on the team, his cap hit would be 10 million. And last year his cap was 8. Jesus, I didn't know he was making this much money for us. And wow, okay, I don't know. It says technically he's under contract till 2023, which I'm a little confused about.
It might be the dummy years that we have on so many guys' contracts.
Because it says, what does that even mean? I'm gonna stop talking and figure out what this is meaning. I'm confused.
I gotta run.
All right, see you, Dibes.
Later. Shane, are you good? You know how to hit end broadcast and all that?
Yep, I got it.
All right, later, guys.
Thanks for joining.
See ya.
Yeah.
Justin, you think Kelsey's back next year?
I don't think so. I mean, he's one of those guys who literally came out and said, like, if we're not like trying to win every game, like, I don't want to play for that kind of a team. Right. And like, based on the moves that are happening, based on the fact that we're most likely trading away Zach Ertz, based on the fact that we're already traded away Carson, and now it's looking like Djax's going to be gone. It just, I would be kind of surprised if he did stay. And as much as I want him to, because I love Jason Kelsey, it just like, for me personally, it just, if it were me, based on his comments that he's made in the past, it wouldn't make sense if he stayed.
Yeah, if I'm him, I would. If I'm him and I wasn't going to retire, because we know he's flirted with retirement for a couple years.
Yeah.
If I'm him and I don't want to retire, I definitely want to go somewhere else. I don't want to play my potentially last year in a total rebuild.
Officially, John Clark just tweeted this out. He said, "Source tells me that Deshaun Jackson will be released by the Eagles." So, looking like Djax is going to be gone, which I don't think surprises anybody at this point based on that Instagram. They probably told him, be like, "Listen, buddy, we're going to release you," and then he put that on Instagram right before the news got out. So, I'm not surprised by that. I think
not either.
I think what they really want on this team, because Alshon's gone too, right? His deal's up.
No, I don't think it's up, but they can.
No? What?
I mean, he's gonna be gone. It's just they can just cut him now.
I'm looking
because they
again.
redid his deal right after they drafted J-Jaw.
So they're gonna be taking on some dead cap. Jesus Christ. So yeah,
What's his?
technically this year he would be getting paid his cap it would be $6 million. Does this season this football season technically count as 2021, correct?
Correct. Yeah, this is 2021.
Yeah. So if he dead cap hit of $10 million.
What's the savings?
Say the savings? You're not really saving anything.
Okay.
It says his base salary is $1 million. It says his signing bonus is $1 million. His option is 1.7. Restructuring is $2.5 million. Cap hit $6.5 million. Dead cap 10.5, and then yearly cash $1 million. I don't know. I don't understand what Spotrac is telling me. Basketball is so much easier to understand in contract situations, I feel like.
Yeah, football contracts are hard to go through. When I wrote the article breaking down all their cap stuff, it was so confusing.
Yeah, I don't even understand what I'm reading, to be honest. Like, I look at basketball contracts all the time. This is confusing to me. What is that red? I'm trying to really figure this out. Alshon Jeffrey signed a 4-year, $52 million contract with the Eagles, including a $6 million signing bonus. $26 million is guaranteed, and an average of $13 million annual salary. In 2021, Jeffrey will earn about a base salary of $1 million while carrying a cap hit of $6 million and a dead cap value of 10.5. So I don't think that's such a weird restructuring deal. I mean,
so it's more just getting him out of the building than anything.
Do they cut him? I don't think you cut him. $10 million? I think you let him stay.
I'd have to look at it.
For real though, like he's like it really wouldn't make much if you're already cutting out Deshaun. That's $5 million in dead cap. Then you just trade Carson, which is 30, and so you got about almost $40 million in cap hit or in dead cap hit already. Plus Alshon, that'd be almost 50.
I'm almost positive that they will actually save money cutting him. Because I remember looking at it before. I'd have to look at it again.
I mean, there's the dead. I don't know. I'm gonna stop pretending to understand football salaries. Too complicated. But I mean, it makes sense why they cut Deshaun, in my opinion, because it's like realistically, if you're really trying to like build a young roster around a quarterback, you want to give him the weapons that are going to be there for a while. And Deshaun, the guy that if he's healthy, you're going to have him play. So it's like it makes sense if you really want to try to build around Jalen, and if they pick a wide. I would like them to pick a wide receiver in the first round, only if Jamar or Devontae are there. And at that 6th pick. If not, and if I personally don't want to take a quarterback, I'd rather just ride with Hurts this season and just see what happens. Because either way, in my opinion, if he sucks, then cool. You're gonna have a decent draft pick next year, and you can go out and find a quarterback later. And then if he's good, then maybe you just build around him and you see what you can get out of him. You know what I mean?
Right. Either way, at least.
Exactly. And that's kind of what I appreciate about the moves that have been made so far, and that's part of the reason why I'd like to see us get a wide receiver, because it's like if the fact that you're in my opinion, you should be able to get one of the two in that 6th spot.
Right.
Personally, I'd rather it be Jamar Chase, but I wouldn't be like mad if we got DeVonta Smith there either.
I mean, you look you're at 6. You've got the top 3 quarterbacks, the top 2 receivers, and Sewell, that top offensive tackle. Yeah. Like, presumably, those would be the top 6 picks off the board. So, I mean, if you sit at 6, you should be, worst case scenario, you're taking somebody like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like part of me thinks that it's like I would almost rather pick the receiver there than a tackle. And I could just my only reasoning for that is 'cause I think you can get a little bit more. I think you can get more value in the tackle position later as well,
Right.
rather than just picking them there. And you still have some young assets in those positions. Some, not all. You obviously do need to rebolster that position, in my opinion. But um, I think you can get away with not picking a lineman in the first round, especially if there is that talent at the receiver spot. I don't know.
I feel
It's
like
gonna be interesting.
I mean, I guess I say all that to say if neither Chase or Smith are on the board,
Yeah,
it's likely because Sewell is there or one of those quarterbacks is there. And if you don't want to take one of those guys, you should have somebody willing to trade up
yeah,
and spend a pretty significant amount to do it. So, I mean, from my view, you're either taking a quarterback, one of those wide receivers, or you're trading back. I don't think there's any, I mean, there shouldn't be a situation where there's not a prospect that you like there and it's also not a good trade back scenario.
maybe I could see them taking a guy like Sertain at that sixth spot if everyone goes ahead.
Yeah.
I could say if they really have it, like if the new coaching staff really wants to value the secondary, and they want to put a young guy next to Darius Slay like right now who can sit there and not only grow from Slay but also just be a good second man like behind him. Like I could see that as well.
Right. Yeah, Sertan and Fairley are your top two corners there. There will certainly be at least one of them there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can get into some interesting scenarios with trading back and trying to, see if you can trade back and get one of those guys. Or I certainly think there's a lot of good options on the board. If you trade back into that 10 to 12 range, I think there's still a likelihood you pick up a first round pick.
Yeah.
Next year, and you're still going to get a stud player.
So how
I'm
upset
fully on board with that. Go ahead.
How upset are you going to be if Carson Wentz? Okay, actually, if Carson Wentz plays more than 75, it does not play more than 75% of the offensive snaps. How pissed are you going to be? Because just from my perspective, part of it's like, okay, if he's injured again next year, then it's like, okay, it's a good trade because it means that he's going to be injured, and that's how it's going to be for right now, at least. So on our part, we look a little better in that aspect. But then again, if he plays and wins and does well, you get the first round pick. So it's like, what are your opinions on that?
All right, I think so. I mean, first of all, I don't think an injury next year really has a lot of bearing on how I'd feel about the trade because we didn't trade him because we thought he was injury prone. I mean, he's been healthy the last 2 years. So, I mean, if he gets hurt, fluke injury, I mean, I hope it's early in the year, so they'll be terrible. And, it's that very top of the second round, I guess. What really will suck is, I mean, basically the way it breaks down is if Wentz is good, it's going to be because they made the playoffs, or they'll make the playoffs, and we're going to get a late first round pick, and I'm happy with that. If Wentz is terrible or gets hurt, you're looking at an early second round pick. And then still, I mean, he wanted out of Philly. And so I think either way, the trade makes sense for the Eagles. And I would anticipate it being that first rounder. So, I mean, they're not going to bench him. They invested too much in him. They're not going to bench him. So it all just comes down to.
Did they invest too much in him, though?
I mean, their GM Ballard, he's never made aggressive moves at quarterback. Really, I mean, they rolled with Brissett. They went and got Phillip Rivers for free in free agency. They've never really made big moves at quarterback. So I think for them, spending that third round pick and then a potential first next year, I think they consider that a pretty big investment.
I guess it's just like, to me, it's like that's like you just got a guy who was drafted number 1 overall who like has the potential to be good. Obviously has not been good lately, but I think anybody who actually knows football a little bit can look at what the Eagles put around him and see that he was not set up to win. Like he wasn't set up to have a successful career here with the Eagles. So like to me, it's like as much as you can sit there and say, yeah, they didn't like they gave up a possible first round pick and a third round pick. It's just like to me, that's not that much when he has talent. He just, in my opinion, was fucked over by the Eagles when he was there.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt they did a terrible job. Yeah. Mark says, perfect scenario, Wentz plays 75% of the plays and the Colts get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs. I mean, to be honest, perfect scenario is he plays 75% of the plays and they win 2 games. But, yeah, if we're talking realistic scenarios, you want to see him lose as many games as possible while Wentz still continues to play. And I mean, I wish him all the best in Indianapolis after 2021. I just want our pick to be as good as possible in 2021.
Agreed. I just hate it too because I really do like the guy. Like, I don't think he is as big of an issue as people think he is. Like, at least the way people portray him as. Like, I think if he was as big of an issue as people portray him as, there would have been a lot more drama about this on his side. Like, him maybe like posting things or his family posting things or like it's like something coming out. Like nothing came out from his side at least. So it's like, or at least that we know of, that was from his side. So it's just like, to me, it's kind of like, I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way, if I'm honest. Like the whole thing is just fishy to me. It's like you sign the guy to a 4-year contract extension, and then all of a sudden, like y'all play like shit. It goes bad, and then you draft a quarterback in the second round, a guy who was known to be this great leader in college and known to be this like amazing team player and a workshop kind of quarterback coming in, and like it's just none of it lines up. Like I don't understand it. Like, and that's why, and I said this the other day. I said this on a reaction pod to the trade, but it's like I feel like usually I can sit there and understand why a move is made. And when this one was made, I just never was able to understand it.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it from his perspective, the season he had in 2019 to drag, the skill players that were around him to the playoffs, and then to go into the offseason and make your priority free agent signing, not a receiver, not an offensive weapon, to make it a defensive tackle while there were free agents on the board. Yeah. And then to turn around and draft a quarterback in the second round, like, how are you supposed to take that? And I mean, there's no doubt that he should have just stepped up. I mean, look what Aaron Rodgers did when you drafted Love in the first round, but it's not the same situation. So I get it. I mean, I would have been mad too. And it really is a travesty that they did not do more to put talent around him.
And this is the thing, is like part of me thinks they did try to. It's just none of their draft picks hit. And it's like the J Draw pick, where like to me, he was a pick because they wanted him to be the next Alshon Jeffrey. Well, obviously that did not work out. Then you pick Jalen Reagor because you say you want to get a speed guy next to him. Like you want to get a speed guy to open up the field for him for Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. Well, all season, Zach Ertz couldn't stay healthy. Dallas Goedert couldn't stay healthy. Jalen Reagor couldn't stay healthy. Your offensive line couldn't stay healthy. Like you had no time to throw the ball deep. And then when you did have time to throw the ball deep, because you had a bunch of young guys, they had no chemistry. Ball was going everywhere. Like they weren't able to ball track. Like it just seemed like it was like the perfect storm in a terrible season. And like, it was just like, I don't know, it was just odd to me. Like everything just feels wrong about this season and like what happened with Wentz. It just feels odd.
Yeah. Mark says the Eagles signed him early because they pay him in the $25 million range versus later where they would pay him in the $30 million range if he played well.
Yeah. And I understand that. And I think, and I understood the signing. Like to me, it's not, it's not why did they sign Wentz when this is happening. It's like, no, I don't think they knew this was gonna happen when they decided to sign Wentz to that massive deal. To me, when they signed the deal, I was a little questionable of it because I'm like, okay, this guy hasn't proved too much yet. Like he had one good season and he has a lot of potential, but he hasn't done much yet. So like, I was like kind of uneasy about it, but I understood it because ultimately, if he did play well, he was going to make a lot of money. I mean, look at Patrick Mahomes. So
Right.
I was like, okay, I get it. It's just like now, because of that contract they signed with him, it's just what happened. Like what happened to the point that this all happened, if you know what I mean. Like I understand the play on the field, but when you sign a guy to a contract like that, it's not just the play on the field that all of a sudden makes you want to get rid of that in the first year after you sign a contract like that. Like you can have chemistry issues on the field and switch out some guys because you want your guy you just paid to succeed. Like, so it's like, obviously the problem wasn't the play, it was a lot deeper than that because you're not getting rid of a guy for that big of a contract for nothing. I mean, there's a reason why it's one of the biggest dead cap hits ever. I think it is the biggest dead cap hit ever right now. So it's like
by 50%.
Yeah, like that's not normal. So that's why to me it's like what happened? Because like I said, it can't be just with look, like this Marky Mark. I personally don't think it's just that because Carson regressed. I don't think that's the only reason that this kind of thing happens. They knew of Carson Wentz's injury history. They knew of what his all that shit before the season started, and they had this bad of a season. They knew this before they signed the contract with him. So if they were worried about the injuries and the regret and that kind of stuff, like they wouldn't have signed him. So it's like, to me, it's got to be a little deeper than that. There's got to be something that was going on behind the scenes that I didn't like. That warranted them really wanting to get rid of him. And yes, I know like team injuries, Mark. Team injuries, yes, and I talked about that. Obviously, that was a big issue, but to a guy you're giving that much money to for that many years, team injuries aren't going to affect you wanting to trade him. Team injuries will affect play on the field. And but realistically, if you want to keep your guy, no matter if your line sucks, that's just what's a good example of that, of like a team that had a bad offensive line, I guess a good example that would be like Deshaun Watson. Obviously, now he wants out, but Deshaun Watson for a long time had bad teammates around him and a lot of injuries around him. But they didn't say after the first year that happening, okay, yeah, we're going to trade Deshaun Watson. No, he's now getting traded. He's trying to get himself traded now. But that's after years of him playing in that system and being just sick of it. So it's to me, it's not just team injuries that yes, that affected the play on the field a lot, but that doesn't affect you wanting to trade your MVP caliber player. I don't know. It's just, like I said, the whole thing's just weird to me.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things unfold moving forward. I think the Carson Wentz storylines have really distracted people from how bad 2021 is likely going to be. It's going to be a bad season. And I mean, think about the role that luck played in all of this too. Bad luck. I mean, you go back, the ACL injury. If the ACL injury never happens, what conversation are we having about Carson Wentz right now? I mean, if the Eagles, you remember how bad Nick Foles played in relief of Carson Wentz. There was legitimate talk about if the Eagles should play Nate Sudfeld against the Falcons in the playoffs. That's how bad Foles was at the end of the regular season there. So if he doesn't get hot and the Eagles get blown out by the Falcons in the first round of the playoffs, what happens then?
Well, too, what they did there too.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what they did there too? It wasn't even Nick Foles getting hot. It was the fact that Peterson completely changed up the playbook because he was trying to run a lot of the same things he was with Carson. And in that last regular season game, he was like, all right, we got to switch it up. Like, we can't keep running this. We're not going to win. So going into the Falcons game, that's when they brought the new game plan in there. They brought like the Foles system, I like to call it. And then through practice, I guess, like after that week, they figured it out. And I think because like realistically, like think about this, going into the Vikings game, like I personally think there's a reason why a Vikings defense got outplayed there, and it's not because the Vikings defense was terrible. It's because there's no tape. There's no like typically in a season of sports, no matter what sport it is, you're gonna have a lot of tape at the end of the season on the team you're playing and the offense they run and their hot routes and like where they tip their percentages of where they're going to go with the ball in certain situations and what they're going to do. Well, when you switch up the offense completely going into the playoffs, and then the first game of the playoffs, you only put up like this many points, and it seems like you're barely doing anything on offense. It just became a straight defensive game. It's like going into that game, you don't have it's hard to make a defensive plan to that. So, like, to me, a big reason why we blew out the Vikings as much as we did is because the Vikings defense probably was like, what the hell? Like, they're like, this is not the team we knew we were going to get today.
Right.
Like, with the amount of fakes they were able to run on them, with the flea flicker, you think they ever thought they were going to run a flea flicker? No. There's a lot of things that I think led, and I think that's honestly a really big reason why we had so much success in the playoffs that year, was because it was just like how it is in basketball, where people will like be able to study the team they play as the games go on in the playoff series. You only get one game to play these guys, and they're coming out with a brand new offense damn near for the last 3 games of the season. So it's hard to play against that sometimes, I feel like. So I think that has a lot to do with it, not just Nick Foles getting hot. You know what I mean?
Right. But I mean, what I'm saying is, even if that just doesn't happen, how's the career trajectory change? Or, you got Josh McDaniels accepted the Colts job and then he backed out. And so Frank Reich goes. What happens if that doesn't happen and Reich stays for 2018?
Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
There's so many dominoes that have fallen that, I mean, it doesn't absolve the organization. There were massive failures, but the way we got here, there's a huge string of bad luck involved too.
Yeah. Well, that's part of my thing with like the draft picks and the missing on draft picks was like, I feel like they were really trying to build a similar team that got them there the first time, which I think was part of the issue, but also part of their solution. Because like realistically, you look at damn near every NFL championship team, they're all different every year. You know what I mean? Like even if a team goes back the next year, they're usually different. It's not ever the same team. The only team you can really argue is maybe what the Chiefs and the Patriots have done in recent years. But like, I feel like they tried to go in there with the same game plan for the next year, even though they got really lucky the year before. If that makes sense. Like, we had a lot of luck on our side the year we won the Super Bowl.
Oh, for sure.
And I feel like part of our issue was we tried to, once again, like I said, use the same game plan to get back there again, like drafting a guy like J-Jaw, like trying to bring in a guy like Jalen Reagor or like Deshaun Jackson to be your Torrey Smith kind of guy. Like, I feel like they tried to mimic that, and it just didn't work. and just like you see, like the teams that are winning games now are just not the same, not the kind of teams that have the players that we have. Like, and there's no teams out there that are winning games to the point that that have guys like Alshon Jeffrey anymore.
Right.
Like, maybe they have that size and that catch ability in traffic, but they're also fast as hell. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but I just see a lot of problems, and that's what my main issue is.
Which is where I think 2021 is going to be a bad year, but I think it puts you in a position that going into 2022, you're going to have cleared a lot of cap space. You're going to be free and clear of Wentz's contract.
Yeah.
You know, we're thinking you're going to have 2 first-round picks, and one of them will be fairly high because it's going to be the Eagles, and we think they're going to be bad next year. And so it puts you in a situation, if you use those resources well, which you never know with this front office, but if you use those resources well, you really could, you know, have a bad 2021 and really bounce back in 2022, especially considering the state of the division around us. So I think the Eagles can get back to being a potential division winner in 2022, but I do think it's going to take a lot of things going the right way and some smart moves from the front office that, I mean, frankly, we haven't seen in several years.
No, I agree. I think like you said, honestly, if that is to happen, like 2022, we're competitive again. I think a lot of things have to go right. I think you have to hit on your draft picks, and like you just said, that has not been a commonality in the past 2 years. So I don't know. Like, to me, the only way we're competitive in 2022 is if Jalen Hurts is the guy who's running the helm, and you're picking a different guy. You're picking up a different position player this year in the first round. Like, to me, we're not good in 2022 if you pick a quarterback in the sixth pick this year. Like, not good is not the right word. We're not competing for the division in 22 if we pick a rookie quarterback this year, in my opinion.
Yeah. Mark says, besides Brady, most Super Bowl winners are on teams with QB on a team with QB on a rookie contract, and he's absolutely right. I mean, the way quarterback contracts have gone, that's a huge deal. That rookie QB window, where you can really spend in other positions, and you get. I mean, Brady, and obviously Brady played below market value for a lot of years in a system that, I mean, it just worked, and you don't really see that anywhere else. And so that's the thing too. I mean, you've got Hurts on the rookie deal. I just took a sec. You've got Hurts on the rookie deal for through 2023 because he won't have a 5th-year option. He wasn't a first-round pick. And so that's a big argument people use to not take even if you don't think Hurts is the guy right now, you don't take a quarterback because you don't have the team around him to compete, and you can't waste that rookie window. And I mean, I don't know if I'm totally sold on that, but it's a valid point that a quarterback's going to elevate your team, but it can only do so much. So you want to have some pieces in place. And so maybe you do the bad 2021 and you enter 2022 with that cap space to build. You've got your answers around Hurts. If he's not the guy, maybe that's when you take a look at it. I'm going to be really interested to see how the front office handles the whole situation. If there is anyone that would take a quarterback at 6 this year, after what just happened, it's Howie Roseman. I mean, the Eagles thought they had a franchise quarterback in Carson Wentz going into last year's draft, and they took Jalen Hurts at 53 overall. They're not sure what they have in Hurts. And so you better believe that they're going to at least consider taking a quarterback at 6 overall.
Oh, I think they're definitely consider it. I just don't think they're going to end up doing it.
Yeah. I mean, regardless of where you fall in it, you want a quarterback there at 6 because if you don't want him, you want to be able to trade down for him. And so you're going to see a lot of stuff come out now between now and the draft. You're going to see a lot of smoke around the Eagles taking a quarterback. And it may be just that. It may just be a smoke screen. They may have no intention of taking a quarterback, but they're going to be trying to create a market for that trade back, assuming that somebody is there. I just fumbled. Dang it. Assuming that a guy is there, you want that market around where somebody's going to be like, man, if we don't trade up with them, they're going to take Justin Fields. They're going to take Trey Lance. We've got to trade with them. I mean, it's the same thing that the 49ers did to the Bears with Trubisky. They were never taking Mitch Trubisky, but they made them think they might, and so they got a huge trade deal. So they got a huge trade deal out of it, and they were never going to take him, and everybody but John Lynch knew that. But that's what you got.
Real quick about Deshaun Jackson. The Eagles will save. This is according to Dave Zangaro. Eagles will save around $4.9 million in cap space by releasing a 34-year-old receiver for a team in transition. In the transition phase, this makes sense. So that's Dave Zangaro. So they're going to be saving money. So that's good.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Mark said, I think Hurts is a 1-year prove-it deal, and the Eagles hopefully get 2 first-rounders in 2022 and then draft a franchise quarterback. And I think there's a lot of validity to that, too. You also look at, in 2022, with those 2 first-round picks, you've got more ammunition to move up and make sure you get your guy, too. And so, you hope it doesn't come to that because you'd like to make 2 first-round picks next year.
Yeah.
Heck, you'd like to trade back from number 6 this year to like the 10 range and have 3 first next year. That'd be amazing. I also wonder how much teams will value picks next year more than normal just because of no combine this year, athletes opting out or having shortened seasons due to COVID. It does make me wonder if teams will value their picks next year more than they normally would. Because it could be seen as a safer draft. You're going to have a bigger sample size to work with.
You're probably not wrong. I don't know. I haven't honestly thought that far ahead of it, to be honest. Like, I've just been like, I'm still trying to understand what's happening. Like, I'm seeing like online edits of Carson Wentz in a Colts jersey, and I'm just like, this is not happening.
Yeah,
this isn't happening. Like, I'm seeing like people tweeting about him reaching out to his new teammates, and like I'm just like, this is like not what the Eagles were supposed to be. Like, this is what Cam Newton was supposed to be. This is what this is what Tom Brady did last year. Like, this is like Carson Wentz is in the prime of or supposed to be in the prime of his career playing for the Eagles after signing a 4-year contract extension. It's like this is not it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know anything about the Packers, but the Packers released linebacker Christian Kirksey and tackle Rick Wagner. I don't know if that's a big deal or not.
Kirksey's a guy. I mean, the Eagles are in no position to spend for guys in free agency, but Kirksey is not a bad linebacker. If I say
JJ
that,
Watt's going to the Packers.
you think?
I'm just messing.
It'd be interesting to see him in Pittsburgh with his brother, but
Dude,
I know
that'd be awesome.
Pittsburgh's in a real bad cap situation, so I don't even know if that's viable. But
tell him to get rid of Big Ben, and maybe they can get it done.
Well, I think the way his contract is set up, that's easier said than done.
Mm.
I'd have to look. I think they're in a situation where they're gonna have to ride it out with Ben one more year unless he decides to retire, and then they're probably gonna part ways.
Marky said, well, I'm assuming at least Wentz is in the AFC and has to go through Chiefs, Bills, Browns, Titans, and Ravens. I mean, yeah, I agree with that one. Like, I do like that. Like, it's not like he went to a division rival or something like that, which is awesome. But like, it's still, and I will say also, because of all those good teams being over there in the AFC, better chance of the Colts sucking. So like,
yeah,
it's
although you know who's on the Eagles' schedule for next season, right?
Are the Colts on the schedule?
Yeah.
Oh God, that's gonna.
What do you want to bet that's the Thursday night opener to kick off the regular season? Like, as much as the national media likes to talk about the Eagles and likes to talk about,
Carson.
Yeah, that's what I'd do. I'd put it as the opener Thursday night.
I could see it happen. Jalen Hurts versus the quarterback that took his starting spot versus the guy who's traded away. Is Wentz washed? Is Jalen Hurts a starting franchise quarterback? We'll see after tonight's game, Thursday night on Fox or some shit like that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean at the very least they're putting that in the first several weeks before the Eagles, are predictably terrible and nobody's interested in them. So I would imagine that's going to be a pretty early season game, and it's going to be a Thursday night or a Monday night game, or maybe Sunday night. But I mean, there's no way that's going to be a 1:00 game on week 12 or something like that.
Yeah, real quick, you want to hear something funny? I'm just looking at Instagram real fast, and SportsCenter posted a picture of Michael Jordan, and it says on the caption, Chicago Bulls tweeted this. You're offered $5 million to score against Michael Jordan one-on-one. You're given 10 chances against prime MJ. If you fail, you won't be able to hear music ever again. Would you lace up? And in the comments, you got No Chill Gill, also known as I can't remember his name right now. Wow. Agent Zero. Shit. Wow. He was. Oh man. No Chill Go Agent Zero. What is his? Wasabi is his other one. Oh man. I'm thinking of all his nicknames, but not his real name. He played for the Wizards for a while. Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas tweeted or he commented on the post and said, "Where's my $5 million? Y'all can keep 9 of those shots. I just need 1." Scoring against MJ. Prime MJ. My goodness.
My best hope would be to knock down a half-court shot.
Yeah. I get that. I'd just be chucking up some threes. Dude, I'll tell you what. I have the My Team Sports app. And they're always so late on information. I don't know if it's because they have to confirm it with their own source maybe, but like they're always so behind in comparison to Twitter. Like I saw John Clark post it probably like 10, 20 minutes ago at this point, and now I just see this come out right now.
Is that the Deshaun Jackson?
Yeah.
What you're talking about?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I can't see your phone. I don't know what.
That's my bad.
Thought maybe we just did something else, traded Hurts or something. Imagine that. Imagine the Eagles. I actually
could imagine that.
I could honestly. I mean, yeah.
If they really saw something in the first round that they were like, "This is what we want," like, but I feel like that'd be something where they wouldn't want to give it away that early. Like they would wait.
Yeah, well, especially because if they traded Hurts, they'd have no quarterbacks on the roster. But
yeah, actually,
Mark says Sudfeld's he's a free agent.
Oh, I thought he signed a contract extension.
Nope. Mark said Howie could draft QB Trey Lance from Wentz's alma mater in North Dakota State. QB Factory, LOL.
Jesus.
I have a scouting report for Lance up on the Painted Lines. You should go check it out. I broke him down some, but I mean, I think the biggest knock on Lance, and this was the biggest knock on Wentz too, is playing at FCS level, but also that he particularly only played one season.
He played like 15 games.
Yeah. Yeah, he played. So he was this 1-year starter in high school in a wing T offense, an option offense. And then he started 1 year at North Dakota State. And then now he's in the draft. So, I mean, there's not a lot of info out there on him, but he's got a lot of talent. I fully believe he's going in the top 10. And I wouldn't be mad. And there'd be a lot of uproar, but I mean, you don't scout the helmet. You got to scout the guy. So people would have fun with the storylines, but I promise you the Eagles aren't. The Eagles are not concerned about him being from North Dakota State. It's not something that's on their radar.
Yeah.
It says enjoy your draft profiles. I appreciate that. Yeah, Dibes and I are going to keep trying to kick those out. We're struggling now between like I want to cover all the guys that are going to go first round and stuff, but we've pretty well covered who the Eagles could potentially take in the first. And beyond that, I want to get into some of the day 2 guys the Eagles could take, but I really don't want to leave first rounders out either. So I'm trying to figure out right now I'm working on one about Sean Wade. I should have it up depending on how much time I get this weekend, maybe then or maybe Monday, but appreciate that. We'll keep working on those for you.
All right, man, listen, I'm gonna hop off. I gotta go do some homework. So I got it.
All right. Thanks for joining.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining. We're gonna do this again.
Oh, definitely. I'm a quick plug what's going on that I'm not sure what. Like I know the Sixers play tonight. I don't know if Dibes is doing that or not because I know I'm not going to be able to because the Blue Coats are also playing, so I got to cover them. But guys, if you're interested, make sure you check out the channel tonight because I know Dibes at least is going to be doing the WandaVision review. At 7, and maybe he'll do the Sixers stuff after that. I'm not sure. But go follow me on Twitter if you want updates of tonight's game on the Blue Coats because I will be doing stuff with that. And then I'll be on the press conference after the game as well, and I'll tweet out some responses and quotes from that. So keep an eye out for that on my Twitter if you want, at J_Persichetti. But yeah, Shane's getting at this TPL gaming stuff.
I'm back. I don't know what was going. I couldn't hear anything you said there. I lost connection for a second, but
yeah, I saw that you had like 3 dots bouncing up on the screen for yourself right there.
Yeah, I don't know why it did that, but
quick,
thanks for jumping in and shooting the breeze. We're gonna do these again. So
yeah, real quick, Marky's got a good question here. So Marky, if you go follow the Delaware Bluecoats on Twitter and or Instagram or stuff, they have links to their Facebook account. I mean, obviously you can go on their Facebook account too. I think they stream on their Facebook account. You can also find them on Delaware TV. I personally watch the games on ESPN Plus. I think I paid like $5 a month for it, which it's obviously not ideal, but I want to make sure I'm watching the games and get you guys some good content out there. So yeah, I personally watch on ESPN Plus, but I know they're on Delaware TV if you're in that area, and I also know they stream it on their Facebook. So yeah, go check it out on there. Definitely go follow Delaware Bluecoats on Twitter to get all those updates. So I'll leave you at that.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining our first stream. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at GamerTPL. You can follow me on Twitter. Justin and I both have our Twitter handles right here. So make sure you give us a follow. Also hit us up on Twitch, twitch.tv/thepaintedlines. We're really looking to get our follower counts up there. Trying to push for Twitch Partner, which is a way you guys can help us out, help support us without spending any money. So we'll talk more about that once we get it. But if you can tune into streams on Twitch, that would be greatly appreciated. Hit me up on Twitter, either at my account or the Gamer TPL. That's my account as well. And let us know what you want to stream next time, and we'll get the next one set up.
Sure. All right. See you guys.
All right. See you guys next time.